a topic for your newsletter can feel as challenging as a lightsaber duel with Darth Vader. But it does not have to be young Jedi. In this video, I will show you how to harness the power of the Force to choose the perfect and profitable topic for your newsletter. Okay, I know that intro was cheesy, but as this video is coming out on May the 4th, I just couldn't help myself because I love Star Wars and I really do believe that creating a topic that is congruent with what your audience wants does help you to harness the Force in your email marketing. So today we're going to talk about 3 very important components of picking your perfect newsletter topic so that you can make sure that you are making profits with your newsletter, you're bonding your readers to your list, you're keeping them engaged and coming back for more, regardless of whether or not they're Star Wars fans. Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lindsay Sewell, and one of the biggest challenges that I see with people, the reason they don't get started with email marketing is because they get completely hung up with picking a topic for their newsletter. And so they just don't start their newsletter. They have a list of people, they're not emailing them, and they're leaving a lot of money on the table. And you and I both know that I don't like to do that, and I'm not gonna let you either. So in this video, I'm going to show you a simple 3-step process to choosing a perfect topic for your email newsletter. So number 1, the most important thing when you're getting started with a newsletter is not actually the newsletter itself, but it's choosing the right niche or audience for what it is that you have to sell. So what exactly is a niche? Well, according to the dictionary, a niche is a specialized segment of a market for a particular product or service. And it's really important to understand your niche or your audience before you ever choose a topic for your newsletter. Why? Because you need to know who you're talking to and how to speak their language. Are you helping people that are trying to get into college? Are you talking to retirees and baby boomers that are trying to figure out how to make their money last for the rest of their life without income coming in? Are you talking to stay-at-home moms that are looking to create another source of income for their family but not go back to the 9 to 5? Are you talking to homeschooling parents that are trying to figure out what curriculum to use that their children will actually love and want to use? Your niche and your market are so important because if you don't have a good match between the audience that is appropriate for your products, then your topic on your newsletter isn't going to resonate, isn't going to gel, and people are going to unsubscribe. They're not going to buy from you, and it really is going to be a big fat waste of your time. So you have to have an understanding of who those people are. And if you're wondering, well, I don't know how to figure out who those people are, take a look at who out there is already selling your exact product or a similar product and what is their audience like. Who are the people that make up their audience? Where is their audience hanging out? Does that person have a YouTube channel? Do they have a Facebook page or a Facebook group? You can go there and you can see the questions the audience is asking. You can see the demographics, the psychographics that make up that audience, and then you can start attracting that same audience for your list and your business, because if they're already in the market for that product, then chances are they'll be just as happy buying it from you once they get to know, like, and trust you. Then once you know your audience, you want to understand what is your unique selling proposal. So if there are 100,000 people in your company, let's say you're a rep in a network marketing company and you know who the audience is, but you're all selling the same thing. Well, what is going to make you stand out? What do you bring to the table that those other people don't? What extra bonuses? What can you add on to make your customers feel appreciated, to make them feel loved that your competitors don't have? These are all things that you can bring to your newsletter and the topics that you share on there and the information and value you provide to make you stand out from the other people that are selling in your same niche. And then you also want to think about what is the longevity of this niche. Like, for instance, if you are working with students that are trying to get into college, then you're always going to have to be bringing new people onto the newsletter because they're not going to buy from you long term or listen to you long term because once they get what they want, they don't need it anymore. Similarly, you want to make sure, like if you're in a technology niche, that it's something that can either last or evolve over time. If you had a newsletter all about cassette tapes, well, it wouldn't be very relevant today. So what is the longevity of the market or the niche or the product that you want to sell and offer? Because that's going to help you create a really, really sustainable audience for your newsletter that is going to love opening your letters, hearing what you have to say, and ultimately buying your products and services. So once you understand what your niche and your audience and your market are, for your newsletter, you want to have topics that are relevant and congruent for those people. But here's some really important questions, and I want you to think about this for yourself because this will impact the success of your newsletter long term. Is this a topic that you're personally curious about? For instance, my newsletter revolves around marketing strategies, passive income ideas, leveraged ways of making recurring income in business over time. That's something that I am incredibly curious about. So I'm out there, I'm studying marketing, I'm studying passive and investment income, I'm studying leveraged affiliate programs that I can use for myself and then turn around and promote to my list. So because I'm so curious about this, I'm naturally looking to gain new information, ideas, and I want to share that with my audience. So it keeps the list interesting. It keeps it fresh and new. And so if you're writing about a topic that you're not really interested or curious in, how interesting is it really going to be for your audience? It's something to really think about. You want to make sure that it's also a congruent topic for you and that you're not just doing something because you think it will be successful, you think it will make you money, but in a month or two, you're going to be so bored out of your mind that you will dread every single time you have to produce a newsletter for your list. The second part of this topic tips is that you want to think about whether or not you're experienced in that specific area. So for instance, if you're writing a farm newsletter and you're a farmer, you have a lot of personal experience. If you're writing to teach homeschooling moms and you're a homeschooling mom, you have a lot of experience. I'm an online marketer, I'm an affiliate marketer, I'm a passive income investor. So my experience also translates on the newsletter and makes it really easy for me to talk about those things in a casual way that makes people feel like I'm talking to a friend. I get letters back all the time from my newsletter subscribers saying, I just love how simple and easy to read your content is. It feels like we have been friends forever and we're just having a conversation together. So I make people feel very comfortable with me. I make them feel like they're more of a pen pal than an email list subscriber. And because of that, they become very bonded to me. So the second part of picking this topic is thinking about these topic questions. Are you curious? Are you experienced? And number 3, are there congruent products to what you want to talk about that you can sell? So for instance, I said I love to talk about passive income streams, I love to talk about affiliate marketing and email marketing, and I happen to have congruent products for all of those different topics on my newsletter. So people who are interested in email marketing, I have a course on that. People who are interested in affiliate marketing products, I share lots of different affiliate programs and opportunities and training for them. And then of course, I teach and train on different passive income streams, especially in the crypto space. So all of the topics that are on my newsletter have congruent products and more than just one. So when I first got started, I was really only focusing on one product and I had an audience for it and I was very curious about it and I was gaining some experience and I was mailing about it regularly. But what happened is that the people who wanted to buy that product did. And then the sales kind of dried up and I wondered what was happening, and it was because I didn't have enough of a variety of products for my newsletter. So the people who wanted that product, they bought. The people who didn't. And then they were just waiting for something else to come on the list that might spark their interest or intrigue. So having congruent products, more than one, is really helpful because you don't know who's going to be interested in what, and you don't know who's going to be ready to buy. So you do want to keep recycling certain products, especially your flagship ones, but you want to round them out with other things that people on your list will want to buy, and your best customers will buy things from you over and over and over again. So if you have a wide variety of products, they're going to be grateful because they want to know what you're using, what you're loving, and they are willing to buy multiple offers from you if it's going to help them in their life or their business. Now, the fourth question to ask yourself when it comes to these topic tips is there a demand for my products or services? And are there people in this audience that I like to call players with money? Because it's all fine and good if there's a demand for your products, but if your audience doesn't have money to spend on your products, then it's gonna be really hard to make a living with your newsletter. Take, for instance, kids who love Pokemon, but maybe, they're like my kids and they're 5 and 8 and they don't have a lot of money to spend. Versus an audience of, 30 or 40-year-olds who grew up with Pokemon and now they have jobs, they have disposable income, and they are players with money willing to buy those Pokemon cards because they want to relive their childhood. So make sure when you're building your audience that you have that consideration of, is there demand for my products in this audience, and do they have the income that is required in order to buy these products and services? I was listening to one of my favorite YouTubers, Ali Abdaal, and he was talking about when he first started his channel, he was helping medical students. And one of the issues with medical students is they didn't have a ton of money to spend on courses and training and things because they were students. They were in school, they had student loans, they were trying to put themselves through college and get a job. Well, now that he's working with more entrepreneurial folks, those are people that are players with money, and they will invest in YouTube courses and programs and video editing skills to enhance and grow their business. So make sure you're thinking about that when you're thinking about topics if you want your newsletter to be something that brings you profits and is not just, a fun hobby. And the last thing to consider with your perfect newsletter topic is that your content has to be valuable, okay? So how do you create valuable content? You may go, oh my gosh, this is now becoming overwhelming, Lindsay. I just wanted to market my products. I just wanted to create some sales emails for my list. What do you mean I have to create valuable content? Well, for one, if you're curious about the topic in your area or you're experienced, you're going to bring that knowledge, and that knowledge is going to bring value to your audience. So perhaps your newsletter every week could include links to content or videos that you produce that educate people on the topics that you're including in your newsletter. And if you need to learn more about the topics for your newsletter, or you are curious about it and you want to make sure you're keeping up to date with what's going on in your market, you can find Facebook groups on almost anything these days. You can find forums, you can go on Reddit, and you can search for the types of questions that people are asking in your niche, in your market, related to your topics that will give you ideas of how you can create valuable content and valuable emails and valuable information week after week in your topic area that you can share with your list and then lead them to your sales offers. So don't let the stress and overwhelm of choosing a topic for you keep you from starting your newsletter. With these simple 3 steps, you should have your newsletter up and running, and may the force be with you.